So I'm working on Kate today. Gonna do kind of a more creative, kind of longer shape. Not like as long as it is, but just something that kind of utilizes the length that she has, not necessarily just cutting it all the way off. So taking a section from the high point of the head down into the kind of front of the ear, really isolating the front part of the haircut first. So kind of something different than what most people would be used to. So just taking that entire right panel and combing it all straight down. And then I'm creating a line that's going to kind of accentuate the jaw. After I cut it directly on the skin, I'm going to pick it up in my fingers just to give the ends a little bit of a bevel. But still everything pulled straight down, no elevation. That slight little bevel. So same thing on the opposite side, just kind of isolating that panel that sits below the parietal ridge and then cutting a line that sits right on the jawline. And then picking it up in my fingers. And just that slightest little bit of elevation will create a nice little bevel so it sits in close to the face. Then I'm going to work directly into the fringe, going to go a little bit longer than normal. So taking a section on the left side after it's been parted down the middle and pulling it straight down. I'm going to continue to work in that manner. So everything that was above the parietal ridge on the left side essentially is what's going to get brought forward and cut. So just pulling everything into that guideline, creating a really heavy, strong fringe. Same thing on the opposite side. Just bringing everything forward, so vertical sections, you can really see the sectioning here. Everything that was left out above, brought forward and cut onto that line. So there's a disconnection from the side panels that we cut in the front and the top here. Now work into the back, just taking a section through the center. And then on the left side, bringing everything down and cutting a line just below the shoulders. Just working up the head shape, same thing. Just taking a horizontal section, bringing everything down to that same line. Just repeating this process all the way up through the back. And it carries around into the side. So in the beginning is kind of this like longer lob shape with these two front panels that kind of frame the face. So same thing on the opposite side. Just bringing everything straight down. Not working any over direction or elevation, keeping my fingers fairly flat, not trying to work like a strong angle or anything like that. I just wanted it to be very square and kind of sit right around shoulder length. You know, when her hair kind of shrinks up, when it's been curled or diffused, it'll sit right above it, have a nice swing to it. So right around those front sections, that little bit of over direction just helps to maintain some of that length around the ear. Just kind of looking at the balance, seeing if it clears the shoulder the way that I want it to, seeing if the shape looks nice. So I'm using the styling whip. Really hydrating for the hair. Creates a nice hold whenever you diffuse. It's also great for blowouts. If you're doing like a round brush and you want to really hold a shape in. Use quite a bit of it because her hair had a tendency to get kind of fuzzy And I wasn't necessarily looking for it to be curly, but I did want to make sure that there was no frizz. So used quite a bit, just left everything down in its natural fall, and then just using a sock diffuser just to kind of naturally dry the hair. Once it's dry, get in there with the blow dryer and kind of power dry it a bit more. Really heavy fringe, you can see as I'm spraying it here with the kind of finishing hairspray. So want to give it like a nice kind of strong style, something that's very graphic and noticeable, but also very wearable. So, you know, those little front panels just kind of create enough kind of intrigue in the haircut to give it something different. You know, she wears it back in a ponytail. It kind of still looks like she's got a little bit of a bob in the front. Really heavy fringe I like a lot. Just a really simple haircut and something that's great to do on somebody that's got some texture. You know, it's a good way to change, kind of introduce somebody into a shorter length as well.